Hello everyone, this is Ved Prakash Singh from IITC. In this session, we are going to see Hijab study. This is the basic module, and this is going to be useful for anybody and everybody. Either you are working professional, or you know about Hijab, or you are a student. So this is going to give or refresh your knowledge. So I will ensure that this video remains short, simple, and crystal clear. I am very confident that this session is surely going to add values in your learnings, which will help you to carry out your job safely, effectively, and it will also increase the chance to get more job opportunities. Guys, this program is very useful to all industrial professionals who are experienced or who are just looking for a job. Either you are in design, or you are in construction, or you are in commissioning, operation, or you are in maintenance. So this program is designed to cater the information to everyone who are working in the industries. Either you are mechanical engineer, or you are operator, or you are electrical engineer, or you are chemical engineer, or you are production engineer, or civil engineer, you are working in procurement department, or you are in purchase department. This is the basic module which is going to give you something, and by the end of this program you have a lot of things to understand. Specifically, this training program is designed to all fresh graduate engineers who would like to build their career in oil and gas industry, petrochemical industry, chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, steel plant, or any other process industries. After this program, you can also join advanced certificate course if you need. I think let us move ahead. Guys, this is me, Ved Prakash Singh. I'm not going line by line. If you are interested, you can look about my profile on LinkedIn. Now I am moving on IITC profile. This is all exclusive services we are providing to the industry in India as well as Middle East. You can see it begins from the legal compliance management and many more. I would like to emphasize two bullet red points which is underlined in this slide. Manpower supply. We recently started supplying the manpower on short-term and long-term basis to the industry, and we started various diploma courses for industrial personnel as well as students. If you are a student, you can avail these training programs, diploma courses. This will increase the chance of getting jobs in India as well as Middle East countries like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Qatar, and other industries. Now we'll go for the next. These are the key competencies of our team. We provide different kind of technical studies. You can go through word wise word if you wish to do. Now we are going to see the training logistics. I will be little faster. I will go little faster. Probably I will speak slow, but my slides will be little faster so that my intention is to give you the best in less time. If you wish to repeat this training, if you have some difficulty to understand, because I am a bit fast. Training logistics, when you are availing this training, you will come across various safety quizzes about this subject. So I would encourage you to attend these quizzes. These are subjective or objective questions. You can select appropriate questions. You are supposed to take many break during the module. so that this will not become cumbersome or boring for you. I will leave on you. I mean, I will not dictate that terms. This is all your solo opinion. You may also stop this training if you wish to go for other assignment in between. And if you wish, you can come back and start the training from the same page. As I mentioned in the beginning that this is going to be a basic training module for HAJOP, for beginners, for industrial people, or those who are already familiar with HAJOP. I'm very sure for everyone you will learn something in this small 20 to 30 minutes video. You can take advanced training on HAJOP and HAJOP leadership after this session. Part 1, the HAJOP basic study module. The aim of this module is to provide an basic understanding of HAJOP process and its optimum application within a project. The objective is to, once you go through about this training, you will be able to know the following things. You will understand HAJOP overview. You will understand the methodology of HAJOP. You will understand why HAJOP is essential and what is of course HAJOP, what is the meaning of HAJOP, why team approach is essential in the HAJOP, the HAJOP methodology itself in successive steps, the result and outcomes of the HAJOP study. Like every tool, HAJOP has got strengths and of course this has got weaknesses. You will understand the step-by-step methodology of the HAJOP and you will understand what is the process flow diagram and what is the P&ID diagram. I have a separate training about PFD. You can explore in YouTube or on our website. We have separate training module for process and instrumentation diagram, how to read P&IDs, because most of time I believe, see, I have been doing the HAJOP from last 20 years and have done more than 500 HAJOPs, small or big. So I understand. I don't blame the people. I have seen many mechanical engineer, many electrical engineer do not know how to read the P&IDs. Again, I am saying that it's not their mistake. It is not their weakness. Probably they are not familiar with this. So we have, designed a separate training module for 15 to 20 minutes. If you are interested, you can go through this P&ID diagram, reading how to read this diagram separately. We will see the node, what is the importance of nodes and how the nodes are identified and marked up and what are features of node. We will see the various parameters used for HAJOP. We will see various guidelines or guide words which are used for HAJOP, and then how to find out the deviation. By adding parameters and guide words, we create a deviation like no flow, less flow, more flow, high level, more level. We will see in the detail about this in the following slides. What do you mean by causes of deviation? We will see the different causes and how to identify credible cause. And then we will see the significant consequences of the deviation. And we will see the existing protection or safeguards. And after that, we will assess the risk by identifying the likelihood of the cause and then severity. And after that, we will see that residual risk, and if the risk is beyond LRP, which is in unacceptable zone or intolerable zone, then we will try to find out the recommendations in the HAJOP study. We'll not find out here. We'll see that how recommendations are made and what are the importance of recommendations. Guys, with this, I believe, we are going to see the overview of the HAZOP. I am very sure those guys who are attending this program knows about the HAZOP or might have heard about this name. So we will see the overview of the HAZOP. This training is intended to provide an overall understanding of the HAZOP process and its optimum application within the project. Training suggests a recommended practice for HAZOP leaders, secretaries, team members for carrying out the HAZOP. It is very useful to project managers, engineers, operators, or any students in making decision for process related concern, planning their construction or design or operation. Now question is, why HAZOP? There are many more tools in HAZOP in process safety like HAZOP, HAZID, BOTI, SHIL, fault tree analysis, event tree analysis. Why this HAZOP? Why HAZOP is essential? As per my experience, I can tell you HAZOP is needed due to various reasons. Because safety is a prime goal of any industry. Sometimes company philosophy says that we need to do HAZOP in different phase of the project, beginning from concept stage, feed stage, design stage, sometimes in construction, sometimes after commissioning, and definitely during operation phase. HAZOP is also essential when you get a new technology or complex processes. In some countries, HAZOP is a legal requirement for getting the project approved. Sometimes you can say that if you do correct HAZOP, your operability increases. It will also deal with huge competition. HAZOP study will impact your productivity and profitability. And sometimes external requirements. In new technologies and complex processes, we need a systematic examination or identification of hazard, then evaluation of hazard, then of course to control the hazards. As you know that HAZOP is a structured hazard identification tool. It is a different set of structures are there, different steps are there, so that you don't miss anything critical for HAZOP, for hazard and operability. HAZOP has been accepted as the main techniques for identifying the process hazard. And sometimes we have found that other tools are not very efficient. Now question is, what is HAZOP? So guys, I am sure you might have heard this name HAZOP, or you might be doing HAZOP, or you might be participating in HAZOP. But just to refresh our knowledge, we will see that HAZOP is based on brainstorming and has important advantage over the other techniques for non-standard design. HAZOP is defined as a technique. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we will understand what is HAZOP. So many people like you might be experienced, you might know what is HAZOP because you have been doing the HAZOP for many years. For those who are the beginners, who are the newcomers, probably they might have heard the name of HAZOP. I'm sure in this session we will understand various different words, terminology, which will not only helpful to the students but also those guys who already knows about HAZOP. HAZOP is based on brainstorming and important advantage over other techniques for non-standard design. If you ask me the definition, I can define HAZOP is defined as the application of a formal systematic examination to the process and engineering intention of a new or existing facility to assess the potential of malfunction or maloperation of individual items of equipment and their consequential effect on the facility as a whole. So I would request, if there are some difficulties in understanding, you can revisit the previous session and go in the slow mode so that you understand the definition of HAZOP. But no need to worry, the definition is not very important. The technique is very important. The HAZOP concept is to break the plant into small sections and then to identify hazards by examining each section and using a series of parameters and guide words filters to structure the brainstorming process. The HAZOP method is equally applicable to measure greenfield development, brownfield development, small plant modification, or operating procedure. This is also very important when you are doing a small MOC or major MOC. MOC means management of change. Or this may also be useful when you are designing or when we are making your standard operating procedure. Team approach. As we said that HAZOP is basically a team approach because everybody does not know everything. So HAZOP team is a multidisciplinary team who does a brainstorming, relies on broad experience of the team to identify potential hazards and operability problems. It is difficult for any individual or discipline to identify all the possible interdepartmental interfaces without the team approach, because here we should have process engineer, we should have E&I engineer, we should have safety engineer, we should have project engineer, we should have team from construction, we should have team from procurement. So right selection of team is very important for correct and appropriate output of HAZOP. The HAZOP technique's strength is that it allows personnel from all the disciplines to interact and brainstorm about the facility beyond their usual sphere of the activity. If you ask about the methodology, the HAZOP methodology we will discuss in the detail. The HAZOP process is a systematic application of various parameters. What do you mean by parameters? There are parameters like flow, pressure, temperature, level, and there are guide words. Guide words like no, more, less, reverse, forward, misdirected. So we will see the parameters and guide words in the coming slides. And when you add parameters plus guide word, it brings deviation like flow and guide word no. So no flow is one of the deviation in the system. Probably more pressure is the deviation. Then high temperature is the deviation. We will see how to bring or how to find out deviation. This is very simple and solved, and there is no rocket science. After identifying the deviation, we will as a team try to find out the credible causes of the deviation in that particular node. And after identifying the particular credible causes of a deviation, remember one thing: for one deviation there may be one or many causes. There may be one or many credible causes. So this point must be noted. To make a successful HAZOP study, we must know the credible causes for deviation. And after finding out the causes for each deviation, then we need to find out the consequence of each causes. Because there may be different causes for one deviation and there may be different consequences for each deviation, each causes. So please do not misunderstand. I repeat again, there are many causes, many credible causes for each deviation. There are many consequences for each cause. We will see, in the following slide, how to, do the appropriate, HAZOP. Outcome of HAJOP. See, outcome of HAJOP depends on appropriate, competent team, knowledgeable team. See, anybody can do HAJOP. Even a student who are in 10th standard, if you tell them to, take a guide word, take a parameter and say no more less, no flow, more flow, less flow, no level, high level, no temperature, high temperature or low temperature, anybody can do it. But triggering right causes, identifying the right causes from the process and instrumentation diagram, from the process narrative is very important. There are two main deliverables from the HAJOP study. The first is a set of detailed minutes presented on the worksheet for each node. I have a worksheet sample point in this presentation. You may wish to download the worksheet if you wish. This is the summary of the team discussion with action and recommendation. The minute has to complete record of issue that have been discussed but do not have any recommendation. The second deliverable is detailed report which comes from the HAJOP chairman side, which contains an appraisal of the success of the meeting and summary of the main action point. Now, as we said that likewise other tools of risk assessment, HAJOP has strengths. So there are various strengths of HAJOP. HAJOP is the principal method for identifying hazards and operating issues. It is applicable for small, medium or large project. It is effective to reveal hazards at an early stage of project like a concept stage, feed stage, design stage. The technique is often lengthy, but it is cost effective. Just try to understand, if you identify anything in concept stage or in feed stage, feed is front end engineering design. So probably you will overcome of that concern. But just imagine another side of coin. If you cannot find out any major concern in engineering or construction, and you find out this concern in operation phase, so that means you have to completely over revamp entire process, entire system, entire equipment, and that is very expensive. Probably, if I have time in the session, in the end of the session, I will try to explain you in the detail. HAJOP may remove the need for expensive plant alteration. Sometimes, we do over design. When you do HAJOP, you will come to know that these are not essential. These are not required. So probably as a team or as a technology owner, you can remove that essential expensive plant alteration. It involves multidisciplinary team. So it has got very good knowledge bank, think pad. So brainstorming is an effective techniques by which you can find out any and every hazards, so that you can come to a appropriate conclusion by giving some recommendation or by evaluating existing safeguard. HAJOP breaks down the rivalry and the static defense of narrow views. Sometimes it also give good result, because when you do HAJOP, you will come to know that you are doing unnecessary rivalry from the team. So guys, the next is what are the weaknesses of HAJOP study. As usual, this HAJOP study has also got limitations. First and foremost limitation is team's technical knowledge and experience. This is a very, 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 very important aspect. It is like garbage in, garbage out. Very simple. If you do not have right, appropriate, competent team, that means you will end up doing poor HAJOP. HAJOP will be done. HAJOP can be done. But the correct recommendations are the important. Correct output is important. Competence of leadership. You need to be careful who is the chairman for the HAJOP. What is his knowledge? Has he worked in the similar plants? Can he, balance the discussion? The major weakness is you do not know what you do not know. As per Confucius theory, there are something what you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. That means you will end up doing poor job. Team cannot identify hazard or causes which are beyond their knowledge. Knowledge is a limitation, is an important factor to be considered while team selection. This is where we are going to discuss techniques or step-by-step methodology. Hazard process is the best if understood, and it is divided in following steps. First step is select the appropriate section of the plant, which is known as node. How to select the node we will discuss in the later slide, which is very important. If a chairman is unable to select the right node, that means there is a possibility we may oversee some hazards. Some hazards are hidden hazard. That depends on the node identification and markup. Define the node's design intent. We must know what is the intent of design of that particular node. Whether this node are having a high pressure situation or they are having no low pressure situation. You need to know the pressure rating, you need to know level rating, you need to know temperature rating of that particular node, and you need to scribe that design intent in the beginning of discussion. Then we need to apply the parameters. Parameters we have discussed, and we will see one table in the following slide what is the parameters, and then we need to identify the guide words. The parameters and guide words brings the deviation, and then we need to find out what are the credible causes for the deviation. And once we agree on the credible causes, we need to identify the consequence of that particular deviation. And then we need to assess the existing safeguard or protection provided against the cause and its consequences. Then we need to do a risk assessment by identifying the likelihood and severity. And then we say that there is a residual risk or risk ranking. If the risk is coming higher than the acceptable zone or intolerable zone, then we must identify the recommendation to bring this intolerable risk to tolerable risk or alarm zone or widely tolerable. I have another session for quantitative risk assessment where if you have time later on, you can go through the brief discussion about quantitative risk assessment. This will give you the definition of LR, IRPA, IRPA, LSIR, PLL. So I will not discuss this thing in this session because I know you are going short of time. So let us focus here. But if you are interested to take a look on QRA, please feel free to go through the quantitative risk assessment training after this session or at your convenience. So after that we identify the recommendation, and we identify who is the owner of that recommendation, and after that we need to use the guide word and parameters until we finish all. So in general, repeat point number 1 to 12 until you finish all guide words in the particular node. So guys, I hope you are clear with this methodology. If you are not clear by any chance, or I speak little faster or I go little faster, then you please feel free to go through the training again at your convenience. What is node? Node is nothing but only it is identification of particular process segment. When you do node identification, you need to know equipment to equipment, process to process, process specification to process specification, and ESD to ESD. You keep these four elements when you are identifying the nodes as a chairman or a scribe or as a process engineer or as a process safety engineer, so that you do not overlook anything in the system. Guys, parameter, as we discussed that there are different parameters. So here we see that flow, pressure, temperature, level, phases, composition, operation. There are different parameters, and these parameters are added with the guide words. The guide words are like no, more, less, reverse, as well as part of. Other than that, I have seen in some company they have got almost 20 parameters with these guide words. Depending on company to company, you can increase your parameters. The guide word may be more or less same, but we should see that it should not be cumbersome. So guys, here you are able to see the table. You can see green legend, you can see a red legend, you can see something less green legend. You can see the combination where you can see a red legend means and, that means combination of parameters and guides are not feasible, not possible. Don't forcefully use it, otherwise this is waste of time and energy. Where you see Y with green legend, it must be discussed in the HAZOP session, because these are the credible deviation, and this credible deviation can bring a credible causes. Then you can see light yellow or light green means P, means possible. These combinations are possible, and with the team concurrence, with the requirement, you can go through that. If you have any doubt or if you have any question related to something, so please put in the remark session, so that I will go through that, and probably I will ensure that you get appropriate answer. Even if you wish in this program that you need the training on different subjects, so I would request you to please put in the comment section, so that I will try to make those trainings on subjective training for you, and will intimate you. So my intention is just to share my learning, what I have learned in past 27 years in various countries, in various industries, in various organizations, in various culture. I just want to share my learnings for you and you only. What do you mean by deviation? As we told that guide words plus parameters brings deviation. So this is a simple deviation of deviation. Deviation from the operation envelope. Deviation from the intended design, deviation from the intended purpose. This is what we need to remember at this point of time. We will not discuss it further, because for this time it is enough for us. Probably when we will discuss the detailed HAZOP, we will take examples and we will try to clarify doubts if any you have. Causes. We have mentioned that guide words plus parameter brings deviation. Now we need to find out what are the causes for that deviation. No flow. Why no flow? High flow. Why high flow? No temperature. Why high temperature? So when you discuss in the team, then probably you will understand the possible causes. Let us understand one guide word plus parameter is no flow or less flow in the system. No flow may be because of upstream failure, maybe downstream pump failure, maybe valve closures, maybe PCB, LCB, TCB malfunction closed, maybe blockage. There are n number of causes. When you understand your process and instrumentation diagram, when you understand your process flow diagram, you will easily identify the possible causes. Consequence, you will understand what are the consequences if there is no flow. What are the consequences if there is high temperature. So this is how you identify the consequence. Then you need to see that what are the existing safeguards to protect that deviation, to protect that, to prevent that consequence. And once you put existing safeguard, then you need to see that what are the residual risk by identifying the likelihood and severity. And if the risk level comes to widely acceptable, no worries. If it comes to alarm, then you need to justify the alarm, no problem. But if it comes to red zone or intolerable zone, then you must not, or I can say that you must, as a team leader, as a team, identify an additional controls so that you can bring down your risk. So these are the severity we have explained. Probably I have one training program specifically for risk matrix and what is the risk assessment. If you wish to clarify what is the severity, what is the likelihood, so you may go through that training program. That is very simple, and I think it's a 15-minute training program. In 15 minutes, you will understand the risk assessment. Complete risk assessment, I can guarantee, I can challenge you. This is, a simple risk matrix. I have, been involved in designing the risk matrix in my previous companies. So I know how it works. We have seen people, environment, asset, reputation, legal requirement as a consequence. Then we see that probability never happened, has happened, or it happened once in a year, or once in a month, or once in a 10 year, like this. Then this is how you read the risk matrix. So we will not describe or elaborate on the risk matrix. If somebody is interested, so I will request you to please go through the risk assessment training module after this program or at your convenience, so that you can understand the risk assessment and the matrix completely and clearly. See, here we need to give a close-ended recommendation. We should not give open-ended recommendation. Likewise, we should not say that there is a need to make one study and after study you do it. This is open-ended. We should say that install PALL or install a PT, install a temperature transmitter, install level transmitter on vessel number so and so. So this is close-ended. So what the intent is, we must give a smart recommendation which is specific, achievable, measurable, reviewable, and time bound. Now we say smarter. Now we say smartest also. In sometimes later I will explain you what is the smart, what is smarter, what is smartest. Okay guys, now we are in the end of the program, end of the session. The report writing is a very essential. Recommendation closure is the most important thing in the HAZOP study. So report writing is the responsibility of HAZOP chairman to give each and everything very clearly, very specific, with close-ended recommendations, and we must say how to close the recommendation, and when the recommendation is closed, it must be, evidenced. So gentlemen, with this, I believe the session is, we can say, not complete. But I would like to say that, we have helped many industries and professionals to enhance their knowledge and awareness. Many young graduates from different streams like engineering, science graduate, commerce graduate, or arts graduate have received the job after this kind of trainings. Ultimately, company does not need your certificate. Company needs your skill. And I hope this program was useful for you. Feel free to share your comment or advice if any. If you need a training on particular subject, please do not hesitate to put in the comment section. I will go through that and I will ensure that you get that training program very soon. We have practiced to regularly upload few training programs on different important subjects on time to time to benefit industrial professional as well as students by and large. You may click on subscription button to receive a regular update on new training programs. You may feel free to forward this program link to your friends who may be interested. Don't send it for those guys who are not interested. to enhance their knowledge, and to those who are looking for new jobs or those who are fresh young graduate who may like to build their career in oil and gas, petrochemical, refineries, fertilizer, chemical, pharmaceutical, steel plant, process industry, power plant, and other industry. So guys, with this I'm ending. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this was useful for you. Please let me know, if you need something in the comment section. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.